Good morning, Devils fans. We are about 30 minutes away from the first rookie practice for the 2023-24 season. And while I would have loved to cover that in today's episode, I figured by the time we actually got through practice, got the media interviews, and I was able to compile all of that to record and upload this, well, it wouldn't make it in the morning segment. So instead, I'll be saving all of that for tomorrow morning, as well as previewing the Friday game matchup. And today instead is going to just be a little bit of housekeeping for the Devils around the league. Past couple days, we've had a few pieces of content come out from the players and the teams themselves, what the guys have been up to since they've been back in the States getting ready for practice, as well as a couple of new signings. So going to go ahead and jump into that. What was this now? A couple days ago, we got our first piece of real content with the boys being back in Jersey, and that was with a handful of the guys attending the Jets game. I know people are tweeting out, making fun of Rangers guys showing up to the Giants game in support, and the Giants getting absolutely blown out, while our boys show up to the Devils game, and while obviously Jets fans aren't very happy with how that game started, they're happy enough with how it ended, even if they're now completely in a full-on depression. But anywho, we had the likes of, I think it was Nosek, Lazar, Smith, Holla, Toffoli, Tice Thompson, Dougie, I know was a big name that was there because everyone makes fun of Dougie with not hanging out and going out with the team at stuff. So I know people were giving flack to like Carolina Flames and Boston fans around that one. And I think a couple other guys made it to that one as well. Not a huge football guy, even though I followed it a lot more in my younger days. Really, until a team like the Jets maybe were to actually throw New Jersey on their name, it doesn't make too much of a difference to me. I follow that stuff casually enough as just a sports fan in general, so I keep up to date on all of that. But I don't actually represent any team. It makes no difference to me. From there, that night, we had Nate Bastian along with Lanisha hanging out at the pink carpet for the VMAs. Bastian did a whole bunch of interviews that are all up on the Devils YouTube page. Fairly entertaining. Nate had some good, funny interactions with some of the people there on the carpet. But on the whole, it wasn't anything too crazy. None of the big names were interviewed. Mostly people I either had never heard of or just kind of heard of loosely in passing. The most interesting to me were actually the mayor and representative interviews that he did, just representing Newark and talking to the local guys there that attended the event. And so, at least check those out if you want to. I think Nate maybe could have rizzed himself up a bit more in his attire, haircut, and the likes. But he did get a few compliments, so who am I to complain? Sticking in that same topic, a bunch of the guys ended up attending the VMAs. No surprise there. Probably a much more fun after party and event for them to be at compared to the Jets game. There we had quite a few guys. We had, if I remember off the top of my head, we had Marino, Timo, Tice Thompson was there again, Siegs, Mercer, McLeod, Toffoli, Nate, obviously, Dougie, and Nico. There was another attendee that I know Devils Twitter was really struggling to try and figure out who it was. Turns out it was a AHL depth signing for us. I'm absolutely blanking on his Justin Dowling. I know some people were out there thinking it was another one of our recent signings, but no, just a depth guy ended up hanging out with the crew. So, awesome to see that our guys are hanging out with, just people throughout the organization. So you love to see that. Now, obviously, the biggest piece of news came just yesterday with us bringing Keith Kincaid back. 1 year, two-way contract, fairly minimal on the NHL side of that. I think it was like $775,000 if I remember off the top of my head. But really, for the biggest thing you need to know is if he is in the NHL, he will be here as a backup with VTech. If we send him down, it will not be to Utica, as he already signed a deal with the Chicago AHL team. And so if we do send him down, he would have to clear waivers, and then he would be going over there to play. So that maybe signals to me, especially if you read some of his agent quotes around picking New Jersey to sign with, he might actually start off as the backup here at the big club so Schmidt can get a starter role down in Utica. If you looked at my schedule video that came out last week, the start of our season is very light, even though we do have a back-to-back for games two right off the jump with 1 and 2. After that, the schedule really stretches out as far as games. So VTech will probably take the lion's share of those, and so Schmidt will just be riding Pine a lot, and I know the team really wants him getting game reps in, so that is very likely why Keith was brought in, to possibly just make sure Schmidt is getting as much ice time as possible. I did also want to correct something I said from yesterday, not that I was necessarily wrong, but that the Devils media had put out saying Luke and Stillman were going to wear A's. Shortly after I released the video, they came out with a correction, and that is going to be Nemec still keeping the A, but now Brian Hallinan and Graham Clark will be getting ones as well. To me, this speaks to one of two things, really. One, Stillman maybe is not going to actually play, but we will get that info today from practice. And that Luke is really the only name on this roster that is a sure lock of making the big club. So they probably wanted the A's on guys that will actually be leaders in the locker room down in Utica to give them that opportunity to really do that here. Because again, it's going to be Deneen, Utica's coach, running this. It is mostly entirely going to be guys that are playing there or eventually working their way there before making the big club, and Luke is just going to jump right to New Jersey. So that would make sense to me why they don't have him wearing the A. We also got a short little Jack in front of the camera giving us a little blurb. He called us the Devs. Not sure I've heard too many players refer to us like that, even if we do it ourselves. But Jack was as nice, awkward. I don't really like doing these setup media presentation things. But he's out in Vegas doing the player media tour out there. Already got some pictures of him looking very serious and stoic. So we'll see how much more we get from Jack coming out of there as well. One other signing was Max Willman on a PTO to come into training camp. Very likely just coming in to fill out the roster again, split squad game, and then probably won't see much of him, if at all, after that. And really the last piece of news to come out was Eric Holla throwing out a pitch at the Mets game. Also not a baseball guy at all. Yankees, Mets, doesn't make a difference to me. Same thing with football until you're actually representing New Jersey, which I think the football teams have a much better argument for, considering they play here compared to the baseball teams, obviously. And so, yeah, it doesn't really make too much of a difference to me whether these local teams win or don't. But hey, glad the guys go out and support. It's something for them to do and a lot of fun, and is probably a very negligible but at least a small draw for when you bring in free agents and the likes coming or re-signing guys here to stay and play with New Jersey going forward. I think that really covers all of it. Tried to really breeze through this because, again, it's really just housekeeping as we get into the actual grind of the preseason and rookie camp. Tomorrow, I'll actually have on-ice stuff to talk about from practice, interview with some of these guys, hopefully Luke and Nemec involved with that one, and getting prepared for a first scrimmage game, which we all are definitely excited for. So that will do it for today. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow finally ends the work week, and we can get into the weekend, and we have 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, to watch. Can't wait for it. Let's get into it. That will do it for today. I will see you all tomorrow morning, as always. And forever, let's go Devils.